What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our SEC football channel.
Let's first look at the offensive line, which has been an issue for a number of years, probably had its best production, most talent as a number of players developed and Dan Mullen's system worked, and probably the best production along the offensive front in a long time. But unfortunately, they lose 141 career starts off that offensive line, and now it's back to a little bit of a rebuilding job.
Yeah, I think this is the main concern. If you talk to any Gators fan right now, they will say our season will depend on those guys on the O-line. And that is very true. They've got so much talent in that running back room, so much talent at the wide receiver room. Felipe Franks has progressed tremendously in their time against Dan Mullen and continuously progresses. But all that is mute if the offensive line can't block, if the O-line can't do their jobs, then all that talent is going to go to waste. So right now, the O-line first team has a bit of experience on it. It's not completely brand new. You got guys like Brett Heggie, who has been hurt the last 2 seasons. He's going to be crucial for Florida. He needs to have a very healthy year. I think he's the voice of that O-line. I think he's a really vocal leader. Obviously, you've got Nick Buchanan returning. He started, last year as starting center. I think he's also kind of jumped up and becoming more of a leader. That's what I've been hearing during summer workouts, during spring workouts. Those are the 2 that have been more vocal. But the guys that we're going to keep eyeing on are like Chris Bleich. He's a redshirt freshman. Did play a few games last year because of that new rule where they're able to play 4 games and before their red shirt was burned. So he has had some game time experience, but again, he's a redshirt freshman. He's coming in. This will be his first season starting. So the question is, what happens if there's an injury on that O-line front? Can the second team O-line be good enough to kind of bounce up and participate in that first team? And I think that's a big question right now that we don't have an answer to. When we watched the game in the spring game, when we watched spring practice, we did notice a drop-off in talent from the first O-line to the second O-line. And honestly, that was expected. They had a lot of true freshmen on that second O-line lineup. So that was really expected to see that little bit of a drop-off. We saw that with guys like Andrew Chatfield, Zach Carter, getting to the quarterback very easily. So that is something where John Hevesy and Dan Mullen will want to see this group really step forward this offseason. It is not dire. Now, people are really panicking, but when you look at that first team O-line, they do have talent. And John Hevesy and Dan Mullen has proven from last year that they're able to scheme around any weaknesses that they had. You can look at the Mississippi State game and how they kind of changed their game plan, where they kind of were throwing the ball a little bit wider and a little bit quicker. And that's how they went around the O-line weaknesses as they learn and progress every game. The key is their O-line going to be ready for that first game against Miami, or is it going to be something where we're going to wait a couple games into the season? And that's the big question for the O-line. But right now, that's something that it could really determine this season, and is how this O-line kind of comes together.
Thank you for watching this video. If you're an SEC football fan, please subscribe to the channel. Leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. And for the latest in SEC football, keep it right here.